Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global, coming to live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Shehu Said. And a quick reminder that Global Television on DSTV channel 5 and StarTimes channel 276. We begin with politics. The People's Democratic Party has elected former Minister Kabiru Turaki as its new national chairman after he polled 1,516 votes at the party's national convention in Ibadan. The exercise also saw the expulsion of Nelson Wike, Ayodele Fayose, Samuel Anyau, and 8 others over alleged anti-party activities and internal sabotage. However, the decision quickly stirred division within the PDP as Governors Ahmadu Finturi and Caleb Muftuang publicly rejected the expulsions, warning they could worsen the party's internal crisis. Meanwhile, the new Nigeria People's Party is pushing back hard against what it calls an attempt to mislead the nation's electoral body. The party is warning the Independent National Electoral Commission to ignore a notice announcing proposed congresses and a convention allegedly issued by 2 individuals the party insists have no legal standing with its structure. Anita Patrick has the details.
In Abuja, the leadership of the new Nigeria political party took a firm stance, declaring that no parallel congress or convention has been approved by the party. Addressing journalists, the National Secretary, Comrade Ogini Olakposi, Sunday said the party is appalled by what he describes as a deliberate attempt to create confusion ahead of its internal activities.
It is on that note that we have written a letter through my humble self and our lawyer to Independent National Electoral Commission to disregard any letter for notice of congresses or convention, fresh notice of congresses and convention of the Nigeria People's Party.
Ogini insisted that Dr. Ahmed Ajunji and Dikbo Olayokun, who circulated the notice, lack any authority to speak or act on behalf of the NNPP. He anchored the party's position on a judgment delivered by an FCT High Court under its founder and board of trustees, Chairman Dr. Boniface Okechukwu Anebona. He therefore urged INEC to recognize these executives and update its records accordingly.
As a judgment debtor, Dr. Ajuji and Mr. Olayoku has no right under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to parade themselves again as the officer of this party.
As political parties prepare for the next electoral cycle, the NNPP insists that clarity and legitimacy must guide engagement with the nation's electoral umpire. For now, the party says it will continue to defend. Anita Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
And away from politics, the House of Representatives has taken steps towards strengthening Nigeria's emergency health care capacity and improving the country's maritime and fisheries sectors. National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick again reports.
At plenary, lawmakers adopted several motions aimed at tackling critical national challenges. One of the motions mandates the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Development to immediately set up a committee that will ensure hospitals across the country are adequately equipped to handle emergencies.
The House convenes that if hospitals in Nigeria are equipped with robust emergency response system, needless deaths will be avoided, while Nigerians who require emergency treatment will have renewed hope.
The House urged the Health Technographic and Health Committee to immediately conduct a comprehensive audit of all medical consultants and doctors in all our teaching hospitals, including National Hospital Abuja.
Meanwhile, the Committee on Oceans and Fisheries, chaired by Akarachi Amadi, presented 3 key reports targeted at strengthening Nigerians' fisheries, marine, engineering, and driving technology sectors. The report emphasized research, training, and workforce development to enhance maritime productivity.
Act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2024, to establish the Brackish Water Fisheries Research Institute, Ungo, Rivers State, and for related matters, HB 2349.
In legislative business, a bill seeking to amend the NAFDAC Act to extend regulation to herbal drugs passed second reading. The bill, sponsored by Jesse Okejo Onukalusi, aims to improve safety and standardization in Nigeria's growing herbal medicine industry.
Let's take a lot of what we call local herbs, and this is medicinal and help in other countries. In the light of this, Mr. Speaker, this amendment will help us to define their role, to set up a regulatory committee that will be ensure that the award that are being used, the measures are stipulated in the Act, and the usage and the way it is procured, the hygienic places defined are defined.
The motions and bills now move to the relevant committees for further legislative action. From the National Assembly, Anie T. Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives is pushing towards a landmark legislation that could make Nigeria the first African country to pass a dedicated child online protection law. The proposed bill seeks to shield children from online predators, harmful content, and abuse in the rapidly expanding digital space. Again, National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick reports.
At plenary, lawmakers adopted several motions aimed at tackling critical national challenges. One of the motions mandates the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Development to immediately set up a committee that will ensure hospitals across the country are adequately equipped to handle emergencies.
The House convenes that if hospitals in Nigeria are equipped with robust emergency response system, needless deaths will be avoided, while Nigerians who require emergency treatment will have renewed hope.
The House urged the Health Technographic and Health Committee to immediately conduct a safe audit of all medical consultants and doctors in all our teaching hospitals, including National Hospital Abuja.
Meanwhile, the Committee on Oceans and Fisheries, chaired by Akarachi Amadi, presented 3 key reports targeted at strengthening Nigerians' fisheries, marine, engineering, and driving technology sectors. The report emphasized research, training, and workforce development to enhance maritime productivity.
Act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2024, to establish the Brackish Water Fisheries Research Institute, Ungo, Rivers State, and for related matters, HB 2349.
In legislative business, a bill seeking to amend the NAFDAC Act to extend regulation to herbal drugs passed second reading. The bill, sponsored by Jesse Okejo Onukalusi, aims to improve safety and standardization in Nigeria's growing herbal medicine industry.
Let's take a lot of what we call local herbs, and this is medicinal and help in other countries. In the light of this, Mr. Speaker, this amendment will help us to define their role, to set up a regulatory committee that will be ensure that the award that are being used, the measures are stipulated in the Act, and the usage and the way it is procured, the hygienic places defined are defined.
The motions and bills now move to the relevant committees for further legislative action. From the National Assembly, Anie T. Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
And away from the legislature, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has launched a major environmental and public health campaign aimed at reducing air pollution in the nation's capital. The initiative, tagged Project Breathe Clean Air Abuja, was unveiled at the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Conference Center by the Mandate Secretary for Health, FCTA, in partnership with IHS Towers. Kabir Hassan reports.
In an effort to tackle rising air pollution and promote healthier living, the FCTA, through the Mandate Secretary for Health, Adedolapo Fasawi, has unveiled a renewed campaign titled Project Breathe Clean Air Abuja. The campaign, Project Breathe Clean Air Abuja, focuses on discouraging open burning of waste, the use of firewood, indiscriminate tree cutting, and other practices that degrade air quality and endanger public health.
The focus of this is to address the renewed hope, is to tell Nigerians that if only we can put hands together and not wait for governments alone, we can have a happy, peaceful, and prosperous Nigeria.
A major highlight of the event was the distribution of gas cylinders to residents and alternative means to promote clean cooking and reduce smoke-induced illness. The campaign is fully supported by IHS Towers, the project sponsors, as part of its commitment to environmental sustainability. Representative of the IHS Towers reaffirmed their readiness to partner with the FCTA in initiative that support clean energy, environmental protection, and community welfare.
The key component of the program is, first of all, to give the cylinder, which is normally costly, to the beneficiaries, filled, and then we will also provide free fills few times during this program. And then for those who watched the documentary before, I mean, one of the women said that the cost of this gas is actually less than the cost of charcoal and wood, and it lasts longer. So hopefully they also will be able to sustain the use of gas going forward.
The FCTA says the campaign will be sustained across communities, noting that clear air is essential for reducing cases of asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory diseases. Kabir Hassan reporting for Global TV News.
You are watching the live broadcast of the news cycle. When we return, Nigeria DR Congo set for high-stakes 2026 World Cup playoff final. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. We begin the second segment with business news. The World Bank supported Ideas program has begun training over 3,000 Abuja youths in a 6-month TVET scheme backed by stronger monitoring for better outcomes. Jummai Manson completes this story.
In her remarks, the National Project Coordinator, Mrs. Blessing Ogu, revealed that zonal monitoring and evaluation officers have been deployed to track trainee performance and provide the Honorable Minister of Education with regular progress updates.
We're having a person per local government that will be monitoring, forwarding the information to the M&E. We also have zonal M&E officers. Apart from the zonal M&E officer, there is a third-party monitoring that will at least to assess whatever we are doing and report to the Honorable Minister of Education.
Dr. Bright Omezuke emphasized that the collaboration between the Federal Ministry of Education, the World Bank, and 20 training service providers in Abuja demonstrates the federal government commitment to job creation and national development.
What we are looking at is the enlightenment to show them to understand why they are actually here, because some of them are already in the field. We already started the training, but they are yet to understand what it's all about.
Bright Omezuke praised the ministry, the National Project Coordinator Unit, and the Joint Planning Committee for the efficiency and encouraged trainees to approach the program with dedication, noting that their skills will contribute significantly to Nigeria's future workshop. Also speaking, the director and principal of the Federal Technical College, Orozo Omale O.A. Frank, described the Ideas TVET initiative as a milestone initiative aimed at bridging the gap between education and employment.
We view this initiative as a bold and timely response to the challenges of unemployment, underemployment, and the growing mismatch between skills and opportunities.
Frank commended the Honorable Minister and implementing partners for prioritizing youth empowerment and urged trainees to embrace the program with discipline and commitment. Some of the participants had this to say.
There are so many things I've learned that initially I did not know. Because growing up in the village, I knew about chicken, but the technology we are being taught about is way advanced.
So far so good. What I have learned, I really appreciate TVET because I have learned how to repair hardware.
As a young graduate, I've been thinking of how to start my life, but this opportunity coming, I'm really happy. Instead of going about looking for where to work, I feel like this is the right place to channel my strength while I'm still young, learning the required skills, not just for now, but for the future.
Joint flag off of the Innovation Development Effectiveness in the Acquisition of Skills, TVET initiative, is all about entrepreneurship and it's all about the youth, hand-on skills. Jumai Manson reporting for Global Television.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has activated its S4 electronic platform as the mandatory channel for submitting Treasury bills bids, effectively taking full control of government securities issuances. The new regime begins with a major 700 billion naira T-bills auction scheduled for November 20, marking the formal end of physical or proxy bid submissions by dealers. Analysts say the shift is aimed at eliminating price distortions, closing information gaps, and enforcing transparency in the fixed income market. Finance Minister Wale Edun has welcomed the decision by S&P Global Ratings to revise Nigeria's economic outlook from stable to positive, while affirming the country's positive rating. The minister said the upgrade confirms the progress of economic, fiscal and monetary reforms under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. With Moody's and Fitch issuing similar upgrades earlier in the year, all major global agencies now acknowledge Nigeria's improving macroeconomic direction. And we move to the following scene where the Democratic Republic of Congo and the M23 rebel group have signed a US and Qatar-backed framework agreement in Doha aimed at ending the long-running conflict in eastern Congo. The deal covers 8 protocols with negotiations continuing on the remaining areas, though violence persists in several provinces despite months of diplomacy. The agreement follows earlier mediation efforts involving Rwanda and Congo that were overseen by the Trump administration. And the Central African Republic's Constitutional Court has approved President Faustin Archange Touadéra's candidacy for next month's presidential election, despite a petition challenging his eligibility. The court also cleared opposition figure Anicet Georges and 5 others to contest the December 28 poll. Touadéra, a key ally of Russia, continues to face tensions over Moscow's request to replace the Wagner Group with the state-run Africa Co. as the country's security partner. And thousands of protesters took to Mexico City to demonstrate against violent crime and President Claudia Sheinbaum's government, leading to clashes that left at least 120 people injured. Demonstrators targeted the National Palace, prompting police to use tear gas while arresting 20 people for offenses including robbery and assault. The protests were largely driven by Gen Z groups angered by recent high-profile killings, including the assassination of European Mayor Carlos Manzo. And we go over to sports, where Nigeria takes on DR Congo tonight in Rabat, Morocco, needing a win to reach the Intercontinental Playoffs for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, with the Super Eagles boosted by Wilfred Ndidi's availability, Shemi Ajayi's return, and Victor Osimhen's blistering form. DR Congo, who defeated Cameroon 1-0 to reach the final, also come in strong with 4 wins in 5 games and key threats such as Chancel Mbemba, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Axel Tuanzebe. Nigeria holds a historical edge with 6 wins in 7 meetings, setting up at 8 p.m. showdown that will decide who claims the coveted playoff ticket. In the meantime, Moroccan referee Jalal Jayid has been appointed to officiate the Super Eagles' decisive World Cup playoff final against the DR Congo this evening. Jayid previously handled Nigeria's 2-0 win over Rwanda in March and will be supported by fellow North African officials, including a VAR team from Algeria and Tunisia. The appointment comes as Nigeria intensifies preparations ahead of the crucial clash in Rabat. And coming back home, the 27th Nigerian University Games NUGA 2025 basketball finals delivered electrifying matchups with Nile University and ABU Zaria clashing in the men's final. University of Jos took on Nasarawa State University in a pulsating female showdown, an atmosphere that transformed the Unijos Sports Complex into the heartbeat of university athletics in Nigeria. Global TV sports correspondent Samuel Odi reports.
The male final between Nile University and ABU Zaria produced a tight and tactical contest, with both sides displaying strength, discipline and remarkable individual brilliance, but Nile University secured victory. In the female category, the excitement soared even higher as the home team, University of Jos, faced Nasarawa State University in a contest charged with rivalry and regional pride. The game drew support for University of Jos Gladiators as they fought to secure victory on home soil. The Vice-Chancellor of University of Jos, Professor Tanko Ishaya, expressed delight at the quality of play and the atmosphere of unity the games has fostered, and he said University of Jos exceeded its expectations. INEC Chairman Professor Joseph Amaputan applauded universities for their commitment to the growth of sport and urged Nigerian FAs to take advantage of NUGA in scouting athletes that would represent Nigeria in the global stage. The SUG president expressed gratitude to all participants for adhering to the rules of the games, and she says the next NUGA edition for universities will yield a more positive result. Amid the intensity, the event was more than just a competition. It was a celebration of youth development, sportsmanship, and growing stature of NUGA as a strategic pipeline for national sports excellence. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
Includes Global TV News Cycle, but a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TVNG. I am Show Said saying hope to be with you again later on Prime News at 8 o'clock.